You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Starting this week on TVNZ Plus, a 9-part all-access docu-series called Relentless. It follows 6 hopefuls as they compete for a single place on the team at world-leading MMA gym City Kickboxing. Head coach at City Kickboxing is Eugene Bareman, who joins us now. Eugene, thanks for your time. Looking forward to seeing this docu-series Relentless. Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, I mean, I got together with the producer and kind of floated the idea about getting some young talent into the gym and testing that young talent and kind of bounce some ideas and seeing whether I wanted to see whether he thought it was a good idea and people would be interested in seeing it, and he thought it was a good idea, and we just developed it from there, to be honest.
So you put out a call on City Kickboxing social media pages asking for fighters who aren't fully professional to apply to be on the show. How much interest did you get?
Oh, we got hundreds and hundreds of applications, and to be fair, from all over the world, even though we specifically asked for fighters from our region. A lot of fighters ignored that and just applied anyway. But yeah, hundreds. So how then did you go about narrowing them down to your, 6 contenders? Yeah, so we kind of narrowed, we picked some of the key characteristics, I guess you could say, of what we were looking for, and we just started whittling down the list from there. We wanted predominantly, obviously, local talent, but we wanted young, up-and-coming talent as well, so that just about half the list immediately. And we just matched up the characteristics slowly, one by one, went through every application. It was pretty exhaustive process, but we thought by the end of it, we came out with some pretty good candidates, exactly what we were looking for. Young, really coachable, teachable, at the start of their career, guys and girls that we thought would get the most out of the opportunity.
So you've talked about some of the characteristics there in terms of the age, the profile there, the fact that they were coachable and teachable. But what were some of the other things that stood some of the contenders out from some of the others?
Ambition. So we wanted these guys to show that they really had they had ambition to take this to a place where they were willing to live the rest of their life, make a living from it, basically. And so a lot of these guys were really, really dedicated and gave us indications that they wanted to make this their living and their lifestyle. So that was one of the biggest things we looked for. And then we looked for some of the more stereotypical attributes. Like we wanted to see if they had some mental toughness, some decision-making ability. And then, of course, we looked at the physical attributes, which weren't so important to us, but we did obviously look at them.
In terms of the access that we're going to get when we watch this, Eugene, what sort of access did you give the makers of this series? Was anything off limits, or is this truly an all-access series?
No, yeah, I opened the doors for them for sure. So, yeah, I gave them full access. I mean, to be fair, I gave all the fighters, the incumbent fighters, I gave them full access to the team. So they trained alongside my professional team, which includes the likes of Dan Hooker, Israel Adesanya, Carlos Olberg. I put them in sessions with those fighters. I put them in sessions with some of my elite coaches that I have that work side by side with me. Our dietitian, our sports psychologist, they got the full experience in terms of what we've developed over these years to produce world-class fighters.
Were you at all concerned that you might be letting out some of the secrets of City Kickboxing success and what has made you so successful?
I'm not going to lie, there was some concern, but at the end of the day, you can have all the secrets in the world, but it's the application of that information, it's the application of those knowledge. It's the very fact that not many coaching teams and not many athletes are willing to pay the price that it takes to get to the highest level. It doesn't matter what information you have to be willing to walk or run a hard road.
Mm. Is most of the content, most of the footage we'll see in Relentless in the gym, Eugene, or are there important parts of this journey that take place elsewhere, outside of the gym?
One of the important themes of the film, I think, is that we travelled up and down New Zealand visiting other gyms and other martial arts communities, and I think there's a message there, and I think there's a budding martial arts community in New Zealand that your average New Zealander is probably not aware of. Most cities and small towns in New Zealand have a martial arts community within it, albeit small. It's a very rich community with a lot to offer, and we visited quite a few of those smaller martial arts communities, and for the viewing public to see that, I think it's going to be quite eye-opening.
Absolutely outstanding. Can't wait to see that. So, how does this work? Is it like Survivor? Do you eliminate the fighters one by one across the series until you're left with the winner at the end? How does it all work?
No, it's more we kind of monitor them and analyze them over the 8 weeks, and then we put them through a test at the end. So we got them a fight at the end. It wasn't necessarily that they had to win that fight. It's just that they had to show that there was development over those 8 weeks, that they had basically taken some information off us and actually learned something over the 8 weeks. It wasn't even necessarily about winning those fights at the end, but we definitely looked over their progress over the whole 8 weeks and not just looked at the results of the fight that they had at the end. So that's what decided it in the end.
So obviously fans of mixed martial arts are going to really look forward to watching this, and the insight they'll gather will be, extremely interesting to them. But what about people who aren't fans necessarily of combat sports or of MMA? Is there something in this series for them as well?
I think, our sport is a microcosm for life. Like, our sport, you have to deal with everything that you'd have to deal with in ordinary life, especially adversity, and how we deal with adversity in terms of a fight and a fight camp and leading up to a fight. It's the same way we deal with adversity in life. We just try and overcome it. We get our friends together. We get people that we trust around us, and we put our heads together and we get through that adversity. And I think people can relate to that. I think it'll be a really interesting insight to a sport that the general public doesn't have a lot of knowledge in. So I hope they enjoy it.
Did it also give you the chance to have a look at City Kickboxing through a slightly different filter, to reflect on it, to think about the ingredients behind your incredible success, but also what you might do to continue to improve upon it?
For me, I got a lot out of it. The very fact that the sport has moved to a place where we can even make a film or documentary like this is amazing. You got to remember this: for most of its early history, MMA in New Zealand was very much an underground sport. It was nowhere even close to being a mainstream sport like it is now. So I do reflect on it a lot, and I think a lot of the martial arts community will look at this as well, and they'll feel proud of what we've done here.
How hard was it to pick the eventual winner?
After getting to know these young fighters over 8 weeks, I definitely wanted to just pick all of them as a winner, to be honest. It was extremely difficult. I narrowed it down to 3, and to be honest, it was almost a flip of the coin. There was very little separating the top 3 guys. So, the audience will be excited to see who it is, because they're all deserving candidates.
Can't wait to watch it, Eugene. Relentless, a docu-series with all access behind the scenes at City Kickboxing. Look, congratulations on being part of it. Can't wait to see how it plays out. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, thank you, Eugene. Eugene Bareman there, head coach at City Kickboxing. Relentless releases on TVNZ Plus in the week ahead.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.